They say there's a definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Starting to think that's Brandon Staley and the Chargers defense. So, guys, let's get into it.
Bull Bros!
Okay, folks, as always, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Bull Bros. So these guys were right. We did not agree with their picks, and the Chargers lost. Now, again, it was a shootout. It was a good game. Offensively, we know that, right? But we're going to talk more about. I'm going to give you guys a positive sandwich. I'm going to give you some positive, some negative, and end on some positive. So let's go into this. This is troubling right here. This is the right word for it. Chargers in Justin Herbert's 59 NFL starts, including playoffs. 100 or 1,502 points scored, 1,502 points allowed. Guys, basically what that means is winning is like a coin flip, right? And that's not championship football, right? At the end of the day, the Chargers need to get better on defense. And again, the defense has looked good at times and bad at times. But again, we'll go more into that as well, too. But again, you cannot say enough about Justin Herbert. Again, scored a lot of points. And again, this number is a little bit off. This actually came before or after the game. So a little bit more than that as well. So my point is there's a lot to discuss about points allowed or right around the same. It's troubling. So here's the breakdown of the passes from Justin Herbert. He balled out, folks. I think he had a 114 passer rating. All intents and purposes should win the game. Again, I'm going to break down some of the throws he made. Absolutely incredible. You cannot say enough about Justin Herbert fighting through adversity, just kicking ass. Guys, Everett came out. Obviously, we lost Mike Williams. Palmer's out, right? So this is kind of reminiscent of last season when, we were down to, third and fourth starters, right? Mike Bandy and such, So the team has plenty of offense. We're doing great. It's not on Kellen Moore at all, and it's definitely not on Justin Herbert. And again, you just got to love what Justin Herbert's done, the grit he has, and he deserves a lot of credit, man. This guy is amazing. One of the things that I will say, and one of the things I wanted to say, actually I forgot to say, I'm going to tell you right now, just on Justin Herbert. When I tell people that I have a podcast where I talk about the Los Angeles Chargers team, you know what people say to me all the time? Oh my God, I love Justin Herbert. He's amazing. Here's the next thing they say. I hate your head coach. And so I'm going to talk more about that as well. But it just goes to show you how much respect this young man has in the NFL. And I cannot say enough about what he's done. I'm going to break down the footage of the game. You're going to see some absolute dimes. He had one of his best games of his career, in my opinion, against the Lions. I mean, holy smokes. Lions are a good defense, folks. Make that no mistake. This guy had a whale of a game. I thought he was going to get carved up like a Christmas goose. Christmas goose? Christmas turkey? You get what I'm saying. Aiden Hutchinson, I thought he was just going to blow him up and just make him look stupid. He balled out. Pipkins balled out. Pipkins ate easy, man. He did great. And there wasn't even a lot of chips. Austin Eckler in the background here chipped a little bit, but man, he looked good. Pipkins looked good. And I'm just like, wow, impressed. So impressed with the way Pipkins played, right? So, you got to give credit where credit's due, right? The offense looked amazing. They balled out. Guyton got a touchdown. Looked good out there as well, man. He's getting his legs underneath him. I'm excited he's back again, not having Palmer for probably another 2 weeks at least. We need Guyton to step up. So hopefully he can stay healthy and the rest of the team can stay healthy. And then QJ got his first touchy in the NFL. He looked good, dropped quite a few balls, got pretty frustrated with some of the things that he did. Again, he needs to be more physical. We can go back and forth on that all day, but he got his first touchy, so let's just be happy for him. And again, happy Veterans Day. That's why I'm showing these black and white photos, the American flag, so on and so forth. Again, if you know any veterans, please say thank you to their service. The one thing that I'm concerned with is this man right here, Everett. I know there was some sort of back issue. I do know the exact moment he got hurt when we were at the goal line trying to push it in. He got kind of turned a little awkwardly at the goal line. Fairly certain that's where he got hurt. I don't remember seeing him after that exact play. So we'll see what happens, with him. I haven't seen a whole lot on it today, but I'm sure we'll get some updates here pretty shortly. But again, Parham, it was a little bit inconsistent in that game as well. But hey, look, offensively we look good. But again, very concerned for Everett. We need him. We need him moving forward, right? Especially with Palmer out for at least another 2 weeks. And one thing I want to talk about is our special teams, guys. This guy right here, Ryan Ficken, has been fantastic. I cannot say enough about this guy. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he was given or at least taking some head coaching roles or interviews this next season. I'm just beyond impressed with him. I'm beyond impressed with him, and I'm beyond impressed with Kellen Moore and what Kellen Moore has done with this offense. I mean, say what you want to say about the offense in general. You could throw some schemes out, little things like that. We can get exposed here and there, but I'll tell you what, we've looked really good. Special teams and the offensive side of the ball. Defense, again, definition of insanity, folks. So this man right here, Brandon Staley, again, going back to what everyone says to me. Oh, I love Justin Herbert. Man, I hate your head coach, though. Or they might even ask me the question, well, what do you think of Brandon Staley? And they throw it out there. And again, I've always defended Brandon Staley. I think Brandon Staley is a very good leader, okay? And as a head coach, in my opinion, you should be the head coach. You should not be calling the defensive plays. He's clearly calling all the defensive plays. Shouldn't be doing that, in my opinion. I think he's a little too close to it. He's a little too much of a micromanager, and he needs to relinquish those reins. Now, for those of you who want to get Brandon Staley fired and moved on to another head coach, it would probably be better for him to continue calling the plays because it rests solely on his shoulders. So again, let's talk about some of the positive on this as well. Dean Leonard came in, some sort of rare illness with Mike Davis. I don't know, apparently he got sick. A lot to be said about that, but bottom line, Dean Leonard did a great job stepping in for Mike Davis. I knew he would be good. I remember when he came out, he's got the speed. Derwin James even said he is one of the fastest guys on the defense. So he's got the speed, he's got the talent. He did fine. It's good to see that, guys, because bottom line, we're not sure how this is going to play out moving forward. Injuries do happen. Luckily, we've not been hurt a whole lot. This game was a little bit different. We'll see how that progresses this week, right? So, but it's good to see Dean Leonard step up and do well. He played pretty physical as well too, but he's got the speed, man. He did fine. He did fine. There was a couple good plays that I'm going to highlight on my defensive video. But again, Mike Davis suited up, did not play. This guy right here should be calling the plays, in my opinion, on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm going to tell you why. Brandon Staley is not seeing what's really happening, right? I think he has this vision of the defense, and that vision's not working, right? As we showed you, points-wise, okay, we were scoring the exact same amount of points and giving up the same amount of points. That doesn't work. That's not championship football. At least with Derek Ainsley, he has an understanding of what the players want. He is in the trenches with the players. And don't get me wrong, I know Brandon Staley is as well too. But the reality is Derek Ainsley at least can come at it from a different perspective and switch things up. Again, what did I say at the very beginning? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. At least Derek Ainsley would bring a different wrinkle to the defense. I remember when he was brought in as the defensive or elevated as a defensive head coach or defensive coordinator, he basically said, yeah, I'm just here to support Brandon Staley. I wasn't impressed with that. I still am not impressed with that. I think if you're a defensive coordinator, you should call the plays. You should call the plays. Let the head coach be the head coach. You be the defensive coordinator. And the reality is he would call a different game. He would. And so I don't understand why Brandon Staley doesn't do that. That's my biggest gripe against Brandon Staley moving forward. So, there's a lot to be said about that. I'm just going to wrap up right here. I don't want this video to be too long. Again, offensive battle. That was a shootout, if I ever saw a shootout. But at the end of the day, it was won and fought and won and lost in the trenches. Their offensive line was absolutely stellar. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They made our defense look bad. But again, we were running light boxes the entire time. I don't know why Brandon Staley kept doing that. We never blitzed more than, I don't even think we blitzed 5 people. We just kept running these super light boxes. And what do you expect? You're going to get carved up, with a good running team, with a good offensive line team. The one thing I was impressed with the Lions is they kept rushing 5 or 6 at certain times and putting pressure on Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's very good against the blitz. In fact, his passer rating goes up against the blitz. But they kept doing it, right? And Herbert did a really good job of finding man-to-man coverage and finding the open wide receiver. We needed to do that more on the defensive side of the ball. Brandon Staley, he needs to start dropping this pattern match zone or whatever he's trying to call it and just go back to the basics. Again, when we played the Bears and when we played the Jets, it was more press man. It was more aggressive. We were more in people's faces. If you listen to all of the post-game interviews with the players in the locker room, all of them said the same thing. We weren't aggressive. We didn't try. We had no energy. They came out flat. They did not execute. They did not play well. I really think the game plan was bad also. Khalil Mack said it perfectly, and I'll end on this. He said, yep, they did absolutely everything the opposite of what we planned for going into this game. That's a coaching problem, folks. Guys, I want your opinion. I want to know what you think. I want to start a conversation. Please let me know what you guys think about this game. I know we've already had a discussion about what we did on Sunday, but again, this one's another one. I know you had another day to process it, think about it. What are your thoughts? Andrew Bopros, see you guys in the next one.